morning, ladies and gentlemen. A lot has been going on at Kodiak Copper, and I'll give you an overview of what we have been up to and our recent work. As many of you will know, we were able to announce a discovery from our first drill program earlier this year at our MPD Copper and Gold project in southern BC. That was obviously a great start. We drilled the best hole in the 50-year history of the project. And at the time, our VP Exploration said, unlikely that we will have drilled our best hole in our first program. So now we're back at the project, drilling again with a bigger program and the aim to generate even better results for our shareholders. And I will tell you more about this in this presentation. Keep in mind that I will be making forward-looking statements and refer to the relevant guidance on our website. And as a start, let me give you an overview of what Kodiak is about. As Chen already said, we are a sister company of Great Bear. Chris Taylor, the founder of Great Bear, is also the founder of Kodiak Copper and our chairman, and very much involved on the technical side. Chris is a very good geologist, very out-of-the-box thinking, very creative, and his geological out-of-the-box thinking is a big success factor for Great Bear, and similarly also a big success factor for Kodiak. Our strategy is very similar to Great Bear's, but in the copper gold space, we are focused on copper porphyries. These are very large and typically lower grade deposits. The majority of the world's copper, 80% or more, is mined from porphyries. These are elephant deposits, so very different animals to what you just heard from American Pacific and their Medicine project. What we typically look for in our projects are historically drilled projects that haven't been figured out yet, and very importantly, are in very good and accessible locations. Very much like Great Bear's Dixie project. The big key to this project's success is that it's right off the highway, and so are our projects. We've proven our strategy right off the bat with the discovery in our first drill program. And as I said, we drilled by far and away the best hole on our MPD Copper Gold project that was ever drilled in the 50-year history of the project. We are well capitalized, and that's even more important in these uncertain times. Strong cash position, and very importantly, we have a very tight share structure with less than 37 million shares outstanding. As I said, we are drilling as we speak. It's very exciting times, and the first results will be available later in August, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Keep in mind, we have two other copper porphyry projects in our portfolio. I won't speak much about them in this presentation, but they are good projects. We are not a one-show ponies. We have two more that have both equally as much discovery potential as our MPD project. And last but not least, we are part of the discovery group of companies. That's a group that has been put together by the mining entrepreneur John Robbins that many of you are, I am sure, familiar with. He has a great track record. And for us, being part of a strong group like Discovery is invaluable. It gives us access to great technical people, to great contacts, and capital markets expertise, and so on. It makes us a much stronger company than if we were just out there by ourselves on our own. So MPD, our most advanced project, here is a map that shows you where it is located. Here on the inset, you see it's in southern British Columbia, 3 hours drive from Vancouver, just up on the highway. And it is in a very established copper producing belt. There is Copper Mountain, one of Canada's largest copper gold mines, just 30 kilometers south of us. And to the north is Highland Valley, a big copper mine as well, New Afton, big gold mine. So very established producing area. And the other point I'd like to highlight here is MPD is a very large project, 78 square kilometers. It's been consolidated from 3 smaller adjacent projects that have all been explored over the last 50 years on and off. The next slide shows the claim package, and it shows just how accessible the project is. You see at the top of the slide here, Highway 97. There's another Highway 5A right here. It's less than a kilometer from the highway onto our project, and there are lots of logging roads on the project, so you can literally drive right up to the drill pad, more or less. We have a transmission line, we have water, we have everything that you need for an exploration program. So it's as cost effective as it can get to explore, and obviously also later for production development. To be that accessible just means the project has to cross so much lower a hurdle to become economic than if it was in a more remote location. Here are some historic results. I would like to take away just one key point here. There's a lot of drilling in the past, but all of it was very shallow, typically between 100 and 200 meters. And as you would typically drill for porphyry 20, 30, 40 years ago, when Chris Taylor looked at that project when we acquired it, he said, you have to drill deeper. That's where the potential is. And that's what we did. And here is what we found. You see on the left here, our discovery hole that is now called the gate zone that we drilled with our first program. It was 800 meters down, mineralized top to bottom. The overall intercept was 763 meters of 0.28% copper equivalent. And very importantly, within this long mineralized intercept, there were zones of much higher grade mineralization. For example, here, 102 meters of 0.68% copper equivalent, or 210 meters of 0.52% copper equivalent. And just to put that into perspective, the mine next door, Copper Mountain, their reserve grade is 0.24% copper equivalent. So these grades look very promising. And as I said, we were very pleased with this initial drill result in our maiden drill program. So when we drilled here, as I said before, we only had very shallow drill holes and very shallow geophysics. So in a way, we drilled blind when we drilled deeper. And we were pleased with what we hit. But then the first step, obviously, this year with our exploration was to do some deep geophysics to get a better understanding on drill and guide our next round of drilling. And here is what we found. We did an airborne ZTEM survey in April, and it gave us magnetic and resistivity data. And just to explain what you see here, this is the discovery hole, gate zone. This dotted line shows the depth of the historic information. So when we drilled, we only knew what's above this line. And here, what you see below, that's what our ZTEM survey showed us. There is a very large anomaly that we clipped with our discovery hole. And that's obviously a great result. That's what we were hoping to see. And this large anomaly, that's what we are drilling now in our follow-up program. There is one conceptual drill hole drawn in here. We'll essentially poke more holes into this very large anomaly that we only just clipped on the side with our first program. So very exciting program. You see here the overall map. We are currently drilling at the gate zone. That's here on the left. And our first couple of holes are going in there. That's where we currently are. We then have another target, very similar at the Dillard zone, which we will also drill. And then we have some gold trends in Dillard East that are also on the list for sampling, and where we'll also have some results. Last but not least, our capital structure. We are 15 million market cap company and have a very tight share structure. Our share price has had a bit of a run up in the excitement of our drill program. And if you look at our insider filing, you'll see a lot of insider buying. We are all very confident in our program. And then just to sum up, Chris Taylor's next deal, we are applying the very much same strategy as Great Bear, but in copper gold. We made a discovery right off the belt, and we are now drilling again. Our results will be available in late August, only a couple of weeks. I'm very much looking forward to coming back to you with and report the results from our program.